In the United States, political, legal and security developments dominated headlines, with fresh statements from President Donald Trump, key Senate confirmations, court deliberations, and a major aviation incident drawing national attention. U.S. President Donald Trump has claimed that talks with Iran are proving productive, suggesting a possible agreement could emerge soon. Speaking on Monday, Trump said Washington was giving negotiations 5 days before assessing the outcome, adding that a deal could ultimately benefit all sides. However, Iranian officials denied that any direct contact had taken place, casting uncertainty over the claims. The U.S. Senate has confirmed Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. A close Trump ally, Mullin is expected to play a central role in implementing tougher immigration policies and overseeing the administration's crackdown on undocumented migrants, making him one of the public faces of the government's domestic security agenda. The U.S. Supreme Court appears poised to restrict how mail-in ballots are counted if they arrive after Election Day. The potential ruling could affect voting laws in more than a dozen states ahead of upcoming midterm elections, raising concerns among voting rights advocates about access to absentee voting. A 13-foot statue of Christopher Columbus has been installed on the White House grounds, reflecting Donald Trump's effort to reframe the explorer as a foundational American figure. The statue, placed near the Eisenhower Executive Office building, is a replica of a monument that was torn down during anti-racism protests in Baltimore in 2020. 2 pilots were killed after an Air Canada Express regional jet collided with a fire truck while landing at New York's LaGuardia airport late Sunday night. The aircraft, carrying 72 passengers and 4 crew members from Montreal, struck the emergency vehicle responding to a separate incident. 9 people remain hospitalized, and airport operations were suspended for several hours following the crash. In California, Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco, a Republican candidate for governor, has seized more than 650,000 ballots from last year's election as part of an investigation into alleged voting irregularities. State officials have denied claims of unlawful voting linked to Proposition 50, which redrew congressional districts and remains politically contentious. Prediction markets are facing renewed bipartisan scrutiny in the U.S. Senate. Lawmakers have introduced legislation that would ban federally regulated platforms from allowing wagers on sporting events, targeting companies such as Kalshi and Polymarket. The proposal follows several state-level regulatory actions, including a temporary suspension of Kalshi's operations in Nevada. Together, the developments highlight a politically charged atmosphere in the United States, with debates over elections, immigration, regulation, and foreign policy continuing to shape the national agenda.